Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hope you are enjoying this series. Now I will use all learn concept to design one project that you can add in your resume. So before going to start the discussion, I'll just give you overview of the project. The project is Portfolio Resume website, which consists of all the details of ourselves. In that, this is our homepage, which consists of name and the details. In the About Us section, we'll add the details of the user, what type of profile they have, email address, phone number, and the details of the user. What kind of services that we have performed, like what kind of skill set we have, like web design, web development, and all other stuffs. What kind of project we have handled, how many year of experience, how many client I have handled, and so on. These kind of details we can add under the work, and so on we can add the pages. So this complete website we are going to design using the help of the Django framework. So let us start the discussion through coding. Now before going to start, if you don't know how to install Python and VS Code, you can watch my series of Python tutorials so that you can able to install Python and VS Code. Now we'll start the discussion of our project. So first of all, we need to create the virtual environment. To create a virtual environment, type the command in terminal Python f1m virtual environment and name of the virtual environment. Here I'll use the same name of virtual environment. So virtual environment is create under our project folder. Here you can find virtual environment which consists of multiple folders and the files. Once the virtual environment is created, we need to activate that virtual environment. To activate the virtual environment, we need to type virtual environment. Under that, we need to go inside the script and then we are going to activate the virtual environment. Now you can see the virtual environment is yet activated. Now you can install the Django under this virtual environment. If you want to install a specific version, then you can mention the name of the version. Like pip install Django equal, you can mention the specific version of the Django. Now you can see the Django is installed properly. You can verify under the script folder, you can find the Django admin is get installed. Now you can start creating the folder for a project. You can start the project with the command Django admin start project, name of the project. So here I am going to create a project portfolio under this YT project. Now the folder is created. Once the folder is created, which consists of many inbuilt files. I already explained this file in my introductory section. So I am not going to explain again each and every file purpose in the project. Once this portfolio project is created, we can go inside the project folder, portfolio, and then we can run the project. Python manage.py run server, and we'll get one URL. If I just click on this URL, you can find a project running success. Won't consist of any kind of pages right now, but initial setup is ready for the project. Well, again go back to the coding part and I'll stop the execution of project. And now inside the project, we are going to create one application which hold all the details of the user. So to create the application, we need to type a command Python manage.py start app, name of the application. So here I am going to use my app is the name of application. Once the application is created, then we need to set this application, or we can say we need to inject this application under the Django project. To inject that application, open the project folder, go inside the setting.py file, scroll down the file and go to the install apps. Under that, we can add our customized application. These all are the inbuilt application of Django. Now we are going to add here our customized application. So my app is the customized application that been injected into the Django project. Next step is to create a template folder under the project. So I'm going to create a new folder, templates. Under the template, we are going to create the application folder. So my app is the name of application, and under that we are going to add the HTML pages. So here I'm going to add, let's say, index.html, which consists of certain type of code. Let's say this is the boilerplate, and I'm going to add, let's say, h1 tag. Inside that, right, this testing page. Now this template is get created under the template folder. Now we need to do the setting of this template under our project. So open the again project folder, go to the setting.py file, and we need to modify this template directory. So here we are going to add the path of this template directory. Before that, we need to import the operating system OS package inside the project. Import OS so that we can set the path for template directory. Inside this directory, we need to write os.path.join. After the base directory, we need to add the templates. So this templates is going to match with this template. Now this setting is also completed for the template, and template is the same under the setting.py. Next thing is that we need to display this message to the browser. So for that purpose, we need to write the views under the application. So go inside the my app and open the views.py. Under the views.py, we can write a view. So I just write one view here, that is definition function index having parameter as request, and that function is going to return render this request along with the HTML page. Index.html page gets written by this text function. So once the function has been written, now we need to write the URL pattern for this function. We need to go inside the project first, open the urls.py. Here we need to add the application first. So I am going to write one function here, so which will include our application. I am going to add the path. I want to include my app.urls. And just copied this content and go into the application. There is no urls.py here, so I am going to create new file having name is urls.py. Copied the content from main URLs to application URL, and I don't want to include any application under the application. Just we need to import the views from my app import views, and we are going to add the views. Let's say I want to display index function this URL pattern. So views dot index. We can also write the name is equal to index. Now this URL pattern also has been set under the project and application. Once the URL pattern has been set under the application and the project, we are going to execute the project to verify the index page is working or not. Python manage.py run server. Just hit the URL. Okay, we are having mistake under the main project URL. We are completed, but we are not save that project file. We just save the file and it worked fine. So open that link, and we are getting the error template does not exist. So we'll go back to the coding again, and we'll modify views.py. So here template path is been set, but under template we have my app application. This page is exist under my app index.html. So again, I'll just refresh the page, and you can find the message is been displayed, the testing page. Now the link has been set properly, URL has been set, template is also been set properly. Now we are going to design this HTML page for our portfolio website. Next is to design a base page for our project. We'll download some free template and we'll integrate into the project. So we'll go to the browser and we'll go to the bootstrapmed.com. Having some free templates are there. Here I am going to go under the template section. There are different categories of template, out of which we have to design a personal portfolio site. So we'll go into the personal, and there are free templates are there. You can pick any one of the template. So in my case, I'm going to pick this template, It's a free download. I just download the template, click on the free download. The complete template is get downloaded in the system. Once the template is get downloaded, then we'll extract some of the content and then we'll copy that content into the project, and according to the requirement, we'll modify the content. So we'll go into the folder now. So this is the dev folio folder. Just extract this folder. Now you can find the folder consists of asset folder and some of the pages. So asset folder consists of CSS, images, JavaScript and other things. These are the important things that we require to integrate into the project. We'll copy this asset folder and paste into the project along with the index page. Now we'll go to the coding part and we are going to copy that folder and paste into the project. Where I'm paste the folder which consists of CSS, image, JavaScript and all other things. Once the folder is copied into the project, then we need to design the index pages. So I'm going to open that index page here, open file. So all the content of this index page, we need to copy it into our project. Now I'm going to select all the content, copy it and paste into our index.html. So I'm going to just modify our index page. And now the index page consists of all the content from the base index page. So this part has been complete. Now I'm going to execute the project by running the command python manage.py run server. Now we'll copy this URL and paste into the browser. Open another tab and I'll just paste this link. You can find the index page is there, but the CSS, JavaScript and images has been not been. Next task is to apply that CSS, image, JavaScript onto this index.html. So again go back to the coding and now we need to modify this particular index.html. Basically title we need to change. So here I'm going to change the title of the project. It's, let's say, portfolio project. I'm just giving the title portfolio. Then these are the icons CSS file we need to modify. So whenever we modify anything, we need to first set the setting of the static file. So go to the project folder, go to the settings.py. You can scroll the file and you can find static path has been set, static URL path has been set. Now we have to just modify some things, like we need to set the static directory to a specific location. So we need to add, just copy this and I'm going to modify static dir static directory, and the similar thing that we did for template here we can do. Let's say OS path join after base directory, we want this static folder directory. You can mention the name of that directory, that is a stat. After that we need to set the static files directory. So we are going to write static files underscore dirs. Static file directory is equal to list of the static directory. So list of static directory we are going to set for the static file dir. So this is the setting for static file. Once the setting is complete, then we'll go into the folder of asset under the static, which consists of CSS. So this is the main CSS of our project. So that CSS need to be applied on the index.html. So I'm going to open our index.html page. Now in the index page, first of all, we have to add the load static so that all the static content will be loading to the page, load static. And after that, one by one, we'll modify the things. So this link we need to modify like this. So bracket under that, we are having static part, and in the static part, we need to resize the path. So this path we have to update. So under the static, this is the particular link we need to set. This will set the particular. So copy this part and replace with the href. This part is been completely replaced. Similarly, this part we can replace. Now I'm going to replace. Similarly, all the path we need to replace like this, so that the static links has been applied to this index.html. So I just modify all this with the same way that I did in the favicon. Once all the linkages get modified, then we'll have to go to the browser and again refresh the page. So now I refresh this page. Now we can find all the CSS, JavaScript applied, but still images has been not been modified because some of the links are still not in the proper format. Now we'll modify this page according to our requirement. We can modify these links, we can modify this data, we can link the pages to the different link. Here just in single page the things are there. We'll have to design a separate pages for each and every link so that we can organize the content. I will modify one by one all the things. In the home page, I want only this much part. So I'll keep it only this part in the home page. I'll also design one base page that is a basic template for all other pages that will be common. So this upper part is common for all the pages and the footer is common. Rest of the things will be modified according to the requirement. So we'll go back to the coding again. Now I'm going to design a base template which will inherit all other pages content. So I'll go under the template folder and I'll create a new file having name is base.html. And I'm going to copy all the content from index and will be pasted into the base.html. Out of which I'll remove some of the content which is not common for all pages. This base.html content only common content for all other pages. So first of all, we'll start from the head tag. So title will be changed for each and every page. So here I'm going to add one block content, block title. This modification is completed. After that, we'll come inside the body section. I want to change this name on the index page. So this is common for all other pages. So here I write portfolio will point into the index page. And these are the links we'll update afterwards. A few links are not required that will remove immediately. So let it be this drop down list is not required for me. I'll remove this part. This part is also there. And let it be if I don't want work or blog, I also can remove this. I'll remove this one more link. It's not required in mine. These are the links which we use in our project. After that, hero section consists of title and the details, whether the user is a programmer, coder, freelancer and all other thing. Inside the main tag, all sections are there. So what I'll do, I'll remove these sections which is not required as a base template. I'm going to remove this part from the base.html and select all the sections one by one and you can remove it. This part is also content, that is also. So once I remove all the sections, I'm going to add content block, that is content, let's say bodies. Footer is required. These links are required. This is just a simple design of base.html which is common for all other pages. So we need to verify whether it has been applied properly or not. What we can do, this index.html contain all the content. So I'll just rename this file with index1.html. Once the file is get renamed, I'll add one more file having the name index.html. Inside the index.html, I'm going to just inherit the base.html. So keyword is extend and then we are going to set the path. So my app and inside that base.html common content for all pages. Index.html consists of inheritance of this base.html. I will verify this by executing the command python manage.py run server. Once we get the URL, we'll copy this URL, paste into the browser. You can find rest of the content has been removed. So this only part is in there, but this also not the common part for all other pages like about us, services, work. This part is not required. So we need to remove this part from base.html. So we'll go back again into the coding and the part which is not required from the base, we'll go into the base.html and this header part is must. For that, this hero section is not required. So I need to remove this hero section so that I am able to see the content. I'll remove this Now I'll again go to the browser, re-execute the page. You can find header and this is footer. Now it is merged because we need to add a content in it. This is the common framework for all pages. Now I want to design this index.html. So here I add the boilerplate, the HTML, and first of all I modify this title with the block content. Right, block title. Here I want to write this is my index document and work in this block. Inside the body, I am going to add the body content. So, block body and end the block. Inside that block, we need to add that heroes. We'll go back to the index.html and just pick the hero section. Header is already in there. Common template. Here is the hero section. Just copy this hero section and keep inside that block card. Now just refresh the page again into the browser. Now you can find this index page which will display the name and the titles. So I need to modify this name and the titles. That will do right now. Open that index.html, go inside that hero section, and here you can write your name. Say here I write my name, Patil, and data type items here I can modify. Here I can write order, developer, freelancer, and here I write tester. So on, you can add as per your requirement. So this will be affect into the output. So go into the browser, just refresh the page once. You can find name is get changed, designations have been changed. So this is all about the index page. Once the index page is added, then we need to add all other pages like about, services, work, and content. So go back to the coding and add the page. First of all, I need to add the about page. For the template, you can add new file, that is about.html. First of all, we have to extend the base.html. Extends the my app now base.html. As it is get added, take some default HTML tags. One by one, you can add them. So first of all, we need to add the block title. The block. Set that we can write the about the page title. And inside the body part, we can add about us content. So and just take the block about, block body. So from the index.html, index1.html, we are going to take now from this ID mail, we are going to only use about us section. We'll copy this about section, will be pasted into the about.html. But is simple. Once it has been added, now we need to write views and the URL for this page. So go to the application, my app, open the views.py and add the new function. Here I am going to add the already index function is there. So I am going to add the out function having parameter is request, and we are going to return in the first parameter is request. We are going to add the path my app about.html. This view is being added into application. Now open the URL pattern and add the new URL pattern. I'm going to copy this URL pattern, just modify with my new function. About is new function. Then I want to change this as about and add the path here. Let's say about Now this is get successfully modified about along with the content. So about.html just need to again verify the all links of this about.html and go and you can find this asset image testimonial 2.jpg. We need to load a static to this page, add the load static. You know that what is the purpose of this load static. We are going to modify this static so that that image will display properly. Cut paste for the asset image. Fine. After that, then profile. Okay. Style developer. Keep all the information as it is. Skills. Dates are there. You can change the percentage so that it will reflect the okay. Rest of the part is text. You can modify it now. These are the sort of modification is required into about.html. Everything has been set. You write the content into the HTML page. You write the views function that is being added into the URL pattern. Go back to the browser. Click on the about page. Okay, we are not set the link. So go back to the coding again. Set the link for about.html. So go into the base.html. These are the links already been set. So here we need to modify. How you can modify? And write URL and write about. So to hit the about URL. Now again go back to the browser. Now we just refresh this page. Click on the about. You can find all the details has been displayed as per our modification. The rest of the part is not been displayed. So this about us page is also complete. Now we need to click on the services so that the various services that we offer are been. Once I click on the about, fine. Okay. I will add the next page services. So go under the template and add the page. Right. So of services I can say it's a skill.html. Then we'll do the same process that we did for section about. Just copy the template inheritance. Paste into. This is common tag for the. Here I am going to the block for that page. Add the for block. Set the block. Going to copy the content text 1.html. So services section we are going to copy. Take the content. Any link is there that we need to move. There is no any image or any link is there that we need to be set this page. After that, we need to write a business logic for this skill. So we can go back to the views.py file under the application and write skill function. So we return that particular page. Add my app skill.html. Similarly, we need to update the urls.py. So I'm going to add one more path for the URL patterns in the application, and that is about the skill. Function is get also changed here. That is a skill. I'll keep skill. It's simple. Same name for everywhere. And now we'll modify the link under the base.html. Go to the base.html. Now, instead of this services, I want to display that is a skill. URL pattern we need to write here. That is a skill. That modification is required. Once all changes have been modified, go back to the browser. Again, refresh the page. Then click on the skill section. Now the services has been replaced with the skill. click on the skill, you can find the skills has been displayed. Web design, web development. These skills you can modify as per your requirement. Now we are going to design a next page, that is work details. Again, we can create a new file. Having name is work.html. Inside that, first of all, we have to extend page.html. Now, say my app name is page.html. But this get integrated. So that we can just add some content here, and I just rename this page as a work detail. Inside the body, now we are going to create one more block, that is body block. Similar way that we created for skill set, here we can end our content and say end block. Inside that, we are going to add the work details. We can go back to the index1.html where all the sections are there. Out of that, now we want a counter section which contain the work details. So I just copied this content and I'm going to add it in my page, that is work.html. So inside this body tag, I'm going to add the detail. If you want to change the details, you can change it and keep these things as it is. So once I make this modification, we need to add the URLs and the views. So goes to the views.py file under the application, add one more function, definition of function, and here I am talking about work, parameter is request, and this function will return render, parameter is request, and it will return a page my app, and under that work.html. So we need to add the URL pattern for this page. We'll go back to again urls.py and add the one more URL pattern for this work. I'll copy this content and paste it here. So skill get replaced with the work. The function name is also work. If any static content in the page, that also we need to replace. So go to the work.html and add that load static. Load static. So now everything is done. HTML pages get designed. U is already been written as a work, and we are at the URL pattern for the work. Now we have to modify this link in the base.html. So go to the base.html and modify the header part, that is work URL. Then copy this skill URL and going to replace with the work so that it will affect in all the pages. So I am going to just replace with the work. Hope you understand this much part. Now we'll execute this page again in the browser. So once I click on the work, you can find the work details has been displayed, like number of work completed, year of experience, total client, award won. You can modify these things into the counter section if you want. Now the last page is remain, that is a contact. I will go back to the coding part. I will add one more page under the template, and the name of the page is contact.html. Again, we are going to add the page.html, which will extend the features of base into contact.html. I am going to add these two lines, and then we are going to create some simple code here. Under that, I am going to write the title of this page is contact, and inside the body tag, I am going to add one block body, to end the block. Inside the block, we need to add some content. So go back to our index1.html, which contains the section contact. Copy the section, and we can use that section under our contact.html. So I'm going to paste this contact.html here. If you want, you can modify the detail as per your requirement and keep this data as it is, that is a static data. Now I'm going to link this page in my project. So go to the views.py and write one more function. Name of the function is contact, having parameter is a request, and the function will return the particular page. So return render the parameter and the page. That page is under the my app application, having name is contact.html. So views is completed. Now we need to write the URL pattern for this page. Now go to the url.py, copy this URL pattern and add one more URL pattern in the page, that is contact. I'm going to write the contact. Function is get replaced with the contact, name to the page contact. All modifications are done. Now we need to link this page in the base.html. So go to the base.html, go to the header part. Now this content link is get replaced so that it is going to be linked for all the pages. Contact. Now all the modifications has been done. Now we can go back to the browser and verify the output. Now if I just refresh this page and click on the contact, you can find the details are there. In this way, we can design our portfolio site which contain all the details. This project is for educational purpose. If you want, you can design your own template or use another template for your project. Hope you understand each and every step in the project. Still, if you have any doubt, write it in the comment section. I'll be more happy to give the solution of your doubts. Thanks for watching this.